What's good, y'all? It's that boy, Easy Millions, and I'm your host of That Boy ETV. You already know, man, we are back on Tekken 8, and today is the day of the update, so I'm here to bring y'all the patch notes for the patch notes for this update, and along with any other things that need to be highlighted, man. So the first thing that needs to be highlighted is going to be a new feature called the Tekken Fight Pass, which has been added to the Tekken shop. And it says during the specified period, players can increase their level by completing daily and weekly missions and online matches, allowing them to obtain various items. In the premium tier, where items are even more luxurious, players can also acquire Tekken coins, which can be exchanged for various items in the Tekken shop, man. So basically, Tekken is getting its own battle pass like any other battle royale. Some people aren't going to like it. Some people are going to hate it, man. Me personally, as long as I got a free one and they got one you can pay for, it is what it is. And the other thing that needs to be highlighted is there's going to be a new playable character, as Eddy Gordo is going to join the cast. He will have a 72-hour early access made available to owners of the Playable Character Year Pass 1. Playable Character Year Pass 1 include the following, and as the Tekken 8 Deluxe Edition Upgrade Pack and all the Tekken 8 Ultimate Edition upgrades, man. So Eddy Gordo comes. He'll be here with the cast today. Let's see how he shakes up the meta for everything, man. But let's go ahead and get into these character changes, because I know that's what everyone's here for, man. And first, we got Alisa. And during Heat, her 3-2, they adjusted the tracking performance of the follow-up attacks after the first hit whiffs, mitigating the occurrence of whiffs of successive attacks after making contact. Her 4-4-4, they fixed an issue where the effect indicating a successful input for the damage boost by pressing 1 at a certain timing duration, the automatically triggered follow-up on hit was not displayed correctly. Her back 1-4, they fixed an issue where the opponent's attack could hit a launched arm. And during destructive form, her forward 2-1-2, they fixed an issue where when only the second hit of the destructive form forward 2 landed as a counter hit, the subsequent attacks were not consistently landing as consecutive hits. Also addressed the situation where all hits were unconditionally landing consecutively in specific circumstances, man. So Alisa, she got a couple changes here. Hopefully they aren't too serious. Any Alisa mains in there, man, let me know down in them comments how that is, man. But let's keep it moving. We got Asuka. Her forward 2, they adjusted the opponent's collision detection when this attack hits near a wall, preventing the phenomenon where characters would climb into each other and their positions would swap. So that's a much needed change. Now we're getting into my coffee queen, Azucena. And during Heat, her 3-2, they adjusted the opponent's collision detection to make it less likely for the positions to swap when pushing the opponent into the corner or making them block. Her forward 3-2, which is the move that everyone hates. The duration of the first attack has been delayed by 3 frames. It's been revised so that the second attack is not executed after the first attack whiffs. And the adjustment was made considering that despite the powerful ability to close the distance quickly, even against distanced opponents, and the advantage of being able to move first when blocked, the countermeasures, though lateral movement, were not effective enough. And while crouching, her 1-2, to standardize the controls with other characters, changed to accept inputs from the 6th frame during crouching. So the biggest change here with Azucena is to her forward 4-3-2. And we'll just have to see, man. I think that basically we'll just have to adjust to the new way that it works. But hopefully we'll get in there. I need to go in there and get the data of the frame data, but we'll go in there, and I'm pretty sure all of us Azucena mains will be able to adjust, man. But let's keep it moving. We got Bryan, and during Heat, his 3-2, followed by down forward 3-4, and then down forward 2-4. They expanded their hitbox downward to reduce the occurrence of whiffing for certain moves. For his up forward 2-2-2-3 during Snake Eyes, during wall combos at extremely close range, they reduced the forward movement. And then this change is made to make it less likely for the opponent to be blown away in the opposite direction. The time with opponent punch, which is his back 1-3. They adjusted the behavior of both characters when parrying the opponent's right punch attack, making it less likely for the counterattack move to whiff. And while rising his 2, they changed it so that it no longer transitions into a throw move after a hit during KO, man. So a couple changes here with Bryan. I don't see too many of him. I played against a couple, but he doesn't seem as popular as I thought he would be. So Bryan mains, let me know how y'all feel about this. But let's keep it moving. Next, we got Claudio. And we got his forward 3-4. The issue where performing certain inputs resulted in unintended moves has been fixed. During Starburst, his forward 1-2. The opponent's ability to start moving after being cornered and blocking was quicker than intended and has been corrected. As a result of this adjustment, regardless of the standing position within the stage, Claudio's frame advantage when blocked is now +8 frames. And the collision detection with the opponent was adjusted to make it easier for the opponent who evaded this attack by crouching to land a punish. And while rising his 1-2 and during Starburst while rising 1-2, due to the instance where the positioning between the opponent and the wall became misaligned when hitting near the wall, adjustments were made to the collision detection. And the issue where the size of the attack hitbox varied depending on if a player had Starburst or not has been corrected. So again, Claudio got pretty much just a lot of fixes, not really any nerfs or anything of that nature. Again, please let me know in these comments any mains of these characters. Now let's keep going. We got Devil Jin, and we got his forward, down forward 1, up forward. They fixed an issue where damage scaling and correction values for the opponent's launch distance and aerial combos was sometimes reset after hitting with this attack. And during Morning Claw, which is his 2-2, they alleviated an issue where the positional relationship with the opponent becomes different than intended when used near a wall. And for Dragunov, we got a couple things here, so stick it with me. We got during Heat, his 3-2. They adjusted the tracking performance of the move so that the second attack is less likely to connect when the first attack is evaded. For his forward 1-2 and his down forward 1, the issue where performing certain inputs resulted in unintended moves has been fixed. For his down forward 4, they adjusted the collision detection with the opponent to make it less likely for a counterattack to miss when absorbing this attack with a power crush. For approach opponent, his up forward 1-2, they increased the recovery time for Dragunov after successfully connecting with the throw. This adjustment is made considering unexpected follow-up hits that occurred. And finally, time with opponent low attack, and then his down 1-2, they adjusted the input reception to make it easier to perform moves even from a crouching position. So far it seems like all the big heavy hitters are getting hit in this patch, trying to make them more balanced for everyone and make sure that people stop complaining about them overall at the end of the day. Now let's keep going. We got Feng, who only got one change. His down back forward 3, the attack hitbox has been expanded downward to mitigate the occurrence of whiffing against certain moves. To alleviate the phenomenon of evading some of the opponent's mid-attacks, adjustments have been made to expand the hurt box and to adjust the collision detection with the opponent. Nothing too serious for Feng. Let's go with Hwoarang. When heat activation is available, which is 3-2, they adjusted the collision detection with the opponent to make it easier to hit the opponents in a low position. Then for his 3-4 during right flamingo 3-4, they enhanced the tracking ability of the second hit when the first hit makes the contact with the opponent. This adjustment is made to mitigate the occurrence of attacks whiffing partway through. And they fixed the issue where the powered up version, which can be triggered by inputting quickly, cannot be executed while moving sideways. And during right stance, his 2-4, the issue where performing certain inputs resulting in unintended moves has been fixed. So here we go. It seems like nothing but bust from what it says here for Hwoarang. He's still annoying as hell to fight. Can't stand y'all mains. But hey, it is what it is. Let's keep it moving. We got Jack 8. You got a few things here for Jack 8. So we got his down forward 2-1 and his down forward 2-1 hold. They expanded the hurt box of the opponent's counterattack to be more likely to connect after the attack ends. While crouching, his 1+2. To standardize the controls with other characters, they changed to accept inputs from the 6th frame during crouching. During Gamma Howl, his 4, the attack duration has been reduced by 1 frame. To minimize the impact of aerial combos, the hitbox size has been increased only the final frame of the attack. This correction is made in consideration of an issue where anomalies occurred in the animation when hit connector at the latter part of the attack's duration and a heat dash was performed. Also during Hammer Growl, your 3+4, the behavior after crouching block has been adjusted to match the standing block, fixing the inconsistency. And for approach crouching opponent, you're down 1+3 and you're down 2+4. This change has been made to allow the move to be executed with back downward 1-2 or back downward 2-4 for consistency with other characters, man. So Jack 8 is out there. I don't use them myself, but when I run into Jack 8s, I tend to catch them hands, man. I don't know what it is about Jack 8, but he puts out the damage, baby. But let's keep going. Now we on Jin during Heat, which is 3-2. The distance between the character and the opponent after the first hit has been shortened when it connects. This adjustment aims to alleviate the issue of the move whiffing partway through. For his forward 1+2, the issue with performing certain inputs resulted in unintended moves has been fixed. For his back 2, the hitbox of the attack has been expanded downward to mitigate the occurrence of whiffing in midair combos, contrary to visual representation. And for his back forward 2, the issue where this move cannot be performed immediately after the activation of heat or heat dash has been fixed. So like I said, it seems like all the biggest heavy hitters as far as popular characters are getting hit. And right along with everyone else, let's go right into June, who has a few changes. So for June, during Heat, her 3-2, the issue where health was recovering when both the first and second hits whiffed has been corrected. And health recovery intended to only occur on hit or block. No adjustments for the tracking of the second hit will be made in the next update. Then her 3+4, when activated against an opponent in a downward state, it is blocked, the recovery time has been increased by 6 frames. This adjustment is made to match the frame advantage with the regular block situation. And they fix an issue where character animations would occasionally not play correctly. Now for her forward 2, they adjusted the opponent's collision detection when this attack hits near a wall, preventing the phenomenon where connectors would climb into each other and their positions would swap. And while crouching, her down forward 1, the behavior after crouch block has been adjusted to match the standing block, fixing its inconsistency, man. So once again, as always, they're hitting on these heavy hitters, popular characters that are strong and ranked and in the meta right now. Now let's keep going. We got Kazuya for his 1-1-2 during Devil Form 1-1-2. They adjusted the collision detection with the opponent to reduce the occurrence of whiffing for certain moves. And for during his Devil Form, his forward down forward 1, and his forward down forward 4-1-1. They fixed an issue where damage scaling and correction values for the opponent's launch distance in aerial combos was sometimes reset hitting with this attack. They made slight adjustments to character animations and input recognition to ensure proper damage scaling calculations. For King, there's a few changes here for that boy, so let's pay attention. During Heat, his 3-2, they fixed an issue where stage gimmicks did not activate correctly when the follow-up attack hit after the first attack missed. His down forward 4 during Jaguar Sprint 4, they corrected King's state after the attack from crouching to mid-air, adjusted a punish received after being blocked was different than intended. His down forward 1+2 and then 4, they adjusted to transition to a throw even if it hits off axis. During Jaguar Sprint, his 3, they expanded the hurt box, alleviating situations where certain attacks would whiff. For approaching opponent, his down quarter circle back 1+2, They relax the input window of 1+2 to make it easier to execute. And while opponent is on its back, you're back downwards 1+3. They fix an issue where it is not possible to perform a floor break with this move. They approach airborne opponent during double heel hold, which is 1+2 and then 1+2. They fix an issue where damage scaling and correction values for the opponent's launch distance and aerial combos will sometimes reset after hitting with this attack, man. So a couple changes for King. I'm going to have to ask my brother-in-law how these affect that gameplay. But also you guys that are listening, down in them comments, also let us know how this is affecting y'all's gameplay, man. Now, moving into Kuma/Panda. I fought against one of these the other day, and he was annoying as hell to play. But couple changes here. So for Kuma, during heat 3+2, they adjusted so that the position relationship with the opponent is less likely to shift, causing the second hit to whiff when hitting near the wall. For Panda, during heat 3+2, the inconsistency of properties of the attack when done from hunting and during normal stance has been fixed. For Panda, during heat, your forward upwards 3+4. They changed the opponent's behavior upon hit, adjusted based on the situation where in specific conditions, hitting would put Panda at a disadvantage. For both of them, you're back 1+4 forward. Fixed an issue where the number of attack hit increased more than intended when extending the rotation with the forward. The behavior after crouch block has been adjusted to match the standing block, fixing the inconsistency. While crouching, 3+4. To standardize the controls with other characters, change to accept inputs from the 6th frame during crouching. And for Panda, during hunting, you're down 1+2. They increase the size of the hitbox when attacking with this command while using Panda. The hitbox size for this attack was different between Kuma and Panda, so it has been unified to the larger and made more easily connectable size of Kuma. So even though they were similar, there were some changes that we obviously didn't see. They're on top of it and it has been fixed. So all Kuma and Panda players rejoice. Now, on to the next. We got Lee. His forward 3+4. They corrected it so that when performing this move with the forward 3+4 command during Dragon Charge, it no longer branches into unexpected moves in certain situations. For your up forward 4-3, the behavior on landing a down hit has been modified. When the first hit connects with a downed opponent, the second hit will also connect, causing more combo damage than intended. This has been adjusted. And during Dragon Charge, your forward 2, the issue where performing certain inputs resulted in unintended moves has been fixed. And for Lee, during heat, while crouching, you're down forward 3. They changed the damage from 25 to 23. And for the heats, they only corrected an issue where damage higher than that of successfully performing a difficult input was incorrectly assigned to the standard input. And during Hitman, you're up 4. The recovery time has been increased by 2 frames. The recovery time inflicted on the opponent when this move hits on the ground has been increased by 2 frames. The duration of the attack has been reduced by 2 frames. The hitbox of this expanded downward to make easier to connect with the opponent in a down state. And this change has been made in consideration of situations where unexpected follow-up attacks were landing. So for Lee, every time I go up against a Lee, for some odd reason, they just be out there doing all kind of crazy shit. So thank God it seems like they're trying to get on top of that. But we're only about halfway through. Still got a couple more people left, man. So let's keep going. We got Leo. During Fubu, his 1+2. This addresses the issue where after absorbing the opponent's attack and hitting them with this move to trigger heat, it is not possible to wall splat the opponent. After Bao Zhao succeeds, the 4 button, this fixes the issue where despite being in an attack, animations during successful parry, the reduction of heat timer was not halted. For Leroy, during heat, 3+2, The opponent facing direction during block has been adjusted to face forward. This addresses a situation where, depending on conditions and angles, the character could maneuver to the opponent's back, making the second hit unblockable. During Heat and Hermit 3-2, this move has been modified to be unblockable by attack reversal or power crush. This change is based on the fact that the attributes commonly set for Heat smashes were not assigned to this move. And for your down forward 1, even when hitting from the side, the connected moves are now corrected to hit continuously, similar to when hitting from the front, man. So again, nothing but great changes here. So we're going to keep moving. We got Lili, who has only one change during Heat 3-2. They elevated an issue where the positional relationship with the opponent becomes different than intended when used near the wall. For Paul, your back 2 and your back 3. They expanded the hitbox downward to reduce the occurrence of whiffing for certain moves. For Raven, your 1, they expanded the hurt box, elevating situations where certain attacks would whiff. Your forward 3, they fixed an issue where, despite the animations facing away from the opponent, the character can still block the opponent's counterattack as if facing forward when the move missed. And for Raven, during Heat, your 4-4-4-3 on hit or block 4, they fixed an issue where the Heat timer was not recovering upon hitting. For Reina, we got a couple changes during Heat 3-2. They exclusively for opponents performing side. Yukimi reduces the tracking ability when using it. This adjustment was made considering cases where the position relationship with the opponent near the wall becomes awkward when using it against the side Yukimi. During range, you're down forward 1+2. They adjusted the hitbox and opponent collision detection for certain moves to make whiffing less likely. While rising your 1 during front hit on the ground, they corrected an issue where the collision detection with the opponent was not functioning correctly, leading to the exchange of the positions in certain situations. During Wind Godstep, down forward 4-2, they adjusted the tracking ability to the move to address cases where the second hit displayed unnatural tracking when the first hit missed. During Heaven's Wrath, 3 on hit or block 4, modified the move to ensure that it can not be defended against with attack reversals. The attribute common to moves that attack the opponent from the air was not correctly set for this move. For opponent approaching, 1+2, 2+4, up forward 1+2, down back forward, forward back 2. The recovery frames at the successful throw escape were not properly aligned with the standard setting, so the following changes were made. 1+2 down, downward forward back 2, reduce opponent's recovery frames by 3 frames. And for the 2+4, up forward 1+2, they reduce opponent's recovery frames by 6 frames. For Shaheen, your down backwards arrow, down back 2+1 are 2-1, and they increase the size of the hitbox to mitigate the issue where the second hit whiffs after the first hit connects. And during Stealth Step, your 4, they expanded the hurt box, alleviating situations where certain attacks would whiff. So again, Reina with big changes, where it goes with the same pattern we've been seeing of the big hitters getting nerfed, man. But let's keep it moving. We're almost here at the end. We got Steve during Heat 3-2. They adjusted the tracking for the 7th hit to reduce the occurrence of the attack whiffing mid-animation. And then during ducking, your 1+2, 1+2, 1+2, 1+2. They changed the opponent's behavior upon hit to reduce the likelihood of unintended whiffing when activated in the corner of the stage. For Victor, you're down 1-1. They expanded the hurt box, alleviating situations where certain attacks would whiff. Your down back 4 counter hit. They adjusted the character's orientation after counter hit to reduce the likelihood of unintended whiffing. While crouching, your 1+2. To standardize the controls of the characters, change to accept inputs from the 6th frame during crouching. During Performer, you're down forward. They expanded the hurt box, alleviating situations where certain attacks would whiff. And now we're on Xiaoyu. Time with opponent's attacks. You're back 1+3 or you're back 2+4. They adjusted the opponent's facing direction to be forward when pairing their right kick attack. And they fixed an issue where back facing opponents down 1 could make contact with the opponent's back, rendering it unblockable, man. Now, Yoshi got big hits, man, so let's get into this. During Rage, you're down forward 1+2. They expanded the hitbox to reduce occurrence of whiffing for certain moves. You're 1. They changed the opponent's behavior so that after certain moves, amount time has been passed after the hit, the opponent becomes able to block. This correction is made in consideration that during heat, 1+4 could be hit continuously in certain situations. You're up forward 1+2 during Muto or Kwame. Up forward 1+2. They expanded the hurt box, alleviating situations where certain attacks would whiff. The issue where performing certain inputs resulted in unintended moves has been fixed. You're up forward 3+4. You're up forward 3+4 1. In time with opponent attack 1+2. They fixed so that the floor break occurs on the final hit. The floor break was occurring during the middle of the string, resulting in less damage than intended, prompting this adjustment. You're up forward 1+2 or you're forward 3+4 1+2 corrected the unnatural positioning issue when activating the move near a coordinate opponent, causing an upward collision in the wall. Then you're forward 3. They expanded the hitbox downward to reduce occurrence of whipping with certain moves. While crouching, you're 1-4 during Muto, no Kwame while crouching 1-4. To standardize the controls of the characters, changed to accept inputs from the 6th frame during crouching. Back facing opponent, you're down 1. The issue where performing certain inputs resulted in unintended moves has been fixed. During Manji Dragonfly, you're 3. In specific situations where the anticipated tactics were not working as intended, the move status has been changed to treat as a jump until landing. This alteration allows the character to evade low attacks and special low attacks from the opponent. During Manji Dragonfly, the 4. An issue with the opponent's behavior upon getting hit in a down state after the conclusion of the heat state was deviating from the intended behavior has been rectified. And during Manji Dragonfly, you're forward 1+2. The opponent's behavior on blocking the second hit has been modified, and they will now block continuously until the 3rd hit. When the opponent blocks the second hit and attempts to crouch to evade the 3rd hit, the attack was hitting them. This change has been made to alleviate this issue, man. So big changes on Yoshi. Man, Yoshi, man, gotta let us know, man. And finally, we got Zafina. And you're forward 1+2. You're down forward 4-1. You're back 1 during hit from front 1+2. During the scarecrow stance, you're 2-1. Down forward 1. Down forward 1. Down forward 1. During your tarantula stance, your mantis stance, and scarecrow stance. The amount of damage inflicted on oneself when using Azucena's power has been reduced. And this change aims to alleviate situations where the drawbacks of each setting was greater than anticipated, man. So they basically just make it to where she doesn't hurt herself as much, making it so going into her stances were a lot more viable, man. So, lot of changes here, lot of changes, man. I got to get on, test out Azucena, man. But anyone else that is mains of these characters, please let me know down in the comments how you feel about the changes. But as always, down in the description and in the post, I will have the link to the full patch notes for you guys, because there are a few of the things I didn't notice, man. But this has been another patch notes for y'all for Tekken 8. And as always, please like, comment, subscribe, follow, share, become a supporter, and catch me streaming on Facebook Gaming and Twitch at that boy ETV. Now, let's get. This has been another patch video. I'm out. Peace.